Maniac authors. Oh my goodness, I am blown away by all of the writing that you guys did this week. Did you know more than 80 kids responded to the opinion piece about the best cookie ever? Oh my goodness, that is incredible. Not only did 80 kids respond, but about 40 kids in upper Montessori, 30 kids in fourth grade. Lower Montessori had a handful. First, second, third grade, about 10 in each grade. Oh my goodness gracious, I cannot believe it. Let me show you a few highlights of what I really enjoyed from your writing. Upper Montessori, and he said, chomp. The best cookie is the chocolate chip cookie. First of all, it is the best cookie because the creamy, sweet chocolate chunks along with the salty, savory cookie. This makes it the perfect flavor. Also, the warm, soft texture makes it the best snack. Third of all, the recipe is super easy. All you need is 1.5 cups of brown sugar, 1 cup of butter, soften 2 large eggs, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and 1.5 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Hope this fully proves that chocolate chip cookies are the best. What I really liked about all of the students from Miss Ryan's class that wrote is they included some kind of sensory word to grab the reader's attention, like chomp or yum or crunch. I loved it because it made me want to read more. The next one is from Miss Hawkins' Upper Montessori class. In my opinion, none of the cookies are good. For example, cookies have too much sugar in them, especially the sugar cookies. And the fact that there is candy inside just makes the sugar level worse, which could give you diabetes. Another reason why I don't like cookies is because they make me feel sick and icky. Here's another example. If I put a cookie in my mouth, just feeling it crumble makes shivers crawl up my spine. It will also get stuck in my teeth, and that would make me very uncomfortable. And this is the reason why I don't like cookies. One of the reasons why I chose Ginger's is obviously she wrote about not liking cookies, which was pretty surprising to me, but I am convinced, I don't know, maybe the sugar content is a little too heavy in those cookies. What I also really liked about Ginger is she added a lot of details to support her reasons. She talked about how it made her feel sick and icky with all that sugar, and that the crumbles of a cookie make those shivers crawl up her spine. I loved those details. In fourth grade in Miss Wright's class. In my opinion, chocolate chip cookies are the best type of cookie ever made in history. My reason is because chocolate is sweet and it goes with anything. My next reason is because in most cookie ads, excluding Oreos, they show chocolate chip cookies, making it the most popular advertised cookie. My third and final reason is the fact/opinion that it tastes good in any form, soft and hard, which makes it one of the easiest to bake cookies. These are my reasons as to why the chocolate chip cookies are the best. One of the reasons why I really like Tristan's writing is not only did he did really well with stating his opinion, giving his reasons, he also used this top as kind of like a checklist for himself to make sure that he included reasons, that he had support, that he had transitions to link his ideas, and that he did his very best writing. Some of our younger kids also responded. Denasia from Miss Harp's class in second grade said, I think the best cookie is chocolate chip because the chocolate chips are really good and I like them homemade and I like them sugary. What I really like about Denasia is that she stated her claim. I think the best cookie is, and she had a strong claim. She also used some of these words to help her write and use the word homemade and sugary. It was a great way to do her very best writing. We had some first graders respond, and I really love their pictures of the cookies. This friend from Miss Cunningham's class, Kinsley Jensen, said the best cookie is chocolate chip cookies, and it's because it has chocolate chips. And she likes it because it's sweet. And I like how she circled a word that she wanted to help her write her writing. Another one from first grade, Miss Neal's class. What I really like about this one is she said that she likes white chocolate, which is one of my favorite cookies, and she likes it because it melts in my mouth. And she said, it's because I love when it melts in my mouth. So thank you to everyone for doing some awesome writing and responses. So this week, I want us to focus on narrative writing. And remember, narrative writing is story writing. So here is your prompt. The character or characters in your story are walking around the neighborhood. They're playing in an area with overgrown plants. They stumble across a door hidden behind some brush. Write a story about what happens. So, in your story, I've kind of started to establish the setting. So, you're in a neighborhood, overgrown plants, and then that door. But I want you to give me a little bit more details about the setting. Remember, setting is not just a place, but it's also time. So, what season is it? What time of day is it? What's the weather like outside? So, really set that scene, that setting. Make sure you introduce your characters. Are you in your story? Is it going to be told from your point of view using I and my and me? Or are you a narrator outside of the story and you're making up new characters and you're giving them names? I want you to use temporal words. That's just a fancy way for saying transition words. So before, during, after, next, using those transitions to link and sequence your plot. So those events that happen. Now remember, a good plot always has a conflict and a resolution. So what is the problem and how does that problem get solved in your story? Make sure that you use descriptions of what the characters' actions are, what their thoughts might be, what their feelings are, and then make sure you have that closure at the end. Provide an ending. So remember how I said that plot, conflict, and resolution? Don't say to be continued or next chapter, none of that. I want it to have an end. And so when you're thinking of your plot, your problem, and your solution is kind of how your story is ending too. So kind of think that through. So now let's look at our pages. So our pages this time look like this. I'm going to kind of make it bigger. They look like this. You have that picture, you have the prompt, you have all of the things about this is a narrative and what you should be including. And then you also have what point of view you're going to be. So make sure you choose. Is it going to be first person? Are you going to be in your story? Or are you doing third person? Are you going to be a narrator outside describing who the characters are and what they are doing? List your characters of who's in the story. Come up with your conflict and resolution. So this is kind of like a plan before you actually write. And then here are some temporal words to get you started, but you don't have to use those. You can use any word that tells a time or occurrence and makes the plot kind of continue to move forward. If you are some of our younger students, this is how your page looks. So same idea, you have your prompt about the characters in your story are walking around the neighborhood, they're playing and find a door behind a bush. So write about what happens. And I gave you lots of space to draw some pictures, what happens first in your story, what happens next, and what happens last. And then I gave you a couple of lines so you could write about it too. So happy writing. I look forward to having the narrative writing come on in.